Hey everyone, how are you guys doing today? Well, it's time for another fight prediction, and honestly, I like the matchmaking between Jiri Prochazka and Carlos Ulberg at UFC 327. Now, as far as them being the main event, I don't really have a problem with that, but I do have a problem with the fight overall. And I'm going to get into that in a second, but it's all about it being for the 205 strap. And I'll get more into it in a second, but Ulberg is 35 years old right now, 13-1. He was dropped in his first UFC fight after Dana White Contender Series, and he's rolled 9 in a row. Okay, so is he deserving of a title shot? I think so. But it's, again, the whole makeup, there's just something that seems off about this. He looks solid against Jan Blachowicz, which is hard for anybody to do because that guy is just a beast. And he looked like a world destroyer against Dominic Reyes, which, let's face facts, Dominic Reyes right now is half, I'd say, of what he used to be. I don't want to say that he's washed, but Reyes has some issues. 9 finishes, yet he is never called for a top dog, okay? During this role that Ulberg is on, never heard him call for a fight with Alex. Never heard him call for a fight against Magomed Ankalaev. Heck, I've never even heard him looking for a fight against Khalil Roundtree. Okay, so it makes me wonder exactly how much does he truly believe in himself. And if he doesn't believe in himself as a fighter, then I can't believe in himself when it comes to fight predictions. The former champ, Jiri Prochazka, is on a quick 2-fight winning streak. He's now 33 years old. And that record of 32-5-1 with 31 finishes is impressive. There's no two ways about it. But ever since he beat Glover Teixeira for that title, he's 3-2. Yes, I get it. The only one to wipe him clean was Alex Pereira both times. Maybe it's something like the Mighty Samson, cutting the hair and losing some strength. I don't know. Alex is just such a special athlete. He is an outlier of skill. Maybe that's the case. I can't just put my finger on Jiri Prochazka. It's like Dave Kingman. It's either home run or strikeout, right? Like most high volume offense guys, they tend to be reckless, and we have seen Jiri Prochazka, even fights that he's won, we've seen him get clipped and go on the ice skates. We've seen him have to dig deep, and in fairness to him, he's done that successfully. For as much offense, for as much volume as Jiri throws, Carlos actually throws more offense. And they are cleaner strikes, not a lot of wasted movement. Those leg kicks that he throws are devastating. And that's the case despite the difference in finishes, Jiri also has I'd say a pretty big advantage in the grappling department, although Carlos has solid takedown defense. It's something they work at City Kickboxing a lot on. He has a really good jab too, does Carlos. And those two things, the leg kicks and the jab, is going to make Jiri possibly a little hesitant when it comes to throwing just wild feints. Another thing Jiri does that's questionable, and I've talked about it with other strikers like MVP and Connor and guys like that. Where are his hands? Jiri's hands are kept too low too much of the time. I don't necessarily know if he's going to be able to stop kicks like that. But he needs his hands held up higher. Okay. The bladed stance that he is in one of the most bladed stances I've seen. With Carlos probably going to target that lead leg, if we see that Jiri is changing stances, and he's able to fight in southpaw stance, but if he starts doing that early, that's a telltale sign that he is in serious trouble. It'll keep him from being able to dart in and out, use some angles on his attack. Carlos overall is a little bit defensively sound compared to Jiri. Despite that, I see Prochazka being able to pressure Ulberg and not let Carlos keep the fight at range where he needs it to be. You know, he doesn't just throw a solid jab just, for puncher's sake. He uses that as a solid rangefinder. If he's not able to land those crisp strikes, it's going to be a very short night for Carlos. And we have to remember something here about Jiri. Alexander Rakic was able to snipe Jiri from the outside. Yes, I get it. Jiri beat him, but he was in trouble. Okay. Rakic was able to land pretty consistently on him. And what's the difference here? That difference is Carlos is a lot better than Alexander Rakic. Jiri's chin is more than solid, even though we've seen, like I said, we've seen him go on the ice skates. Okay? We've seen him get cracked. Now, is he chinny right now? No, not in the slightest. But we don't know when that turn is going to happen. His chaos worries me. There's a lot of movement that Jiri has, a lot of wasted movement, and you can easily tire yourself with that movement. You can get countered off of that movement. There's a problem there. the way I see this fight playing out is early on, they're going to sting each other really bad. It's going to be back and forth early on. I can see Carlos very easily maybe dropping Jiri. Maybe late first round, early second round, something like that happens. And then just the warrior that Prochazka is, I see him sort of hulking up a bit and being able to take the fight to the ground along the cage, probably just by a simple trip, or even maybe with the underhooks. And that's when we're going to see the difference on the ground, where Jiri is able to transition. Now, I'm sure Carlos is going to be able to hand fight him for a while, but eventually just going from, you know, side control to back control to mount, it's just going to it's just going to wither Ulberg overall. And I think Yuri's going to put Ulberg in a position of him having to decide, is he going to take damage from the back or from the top? And I think Carlos is going to just eventually wind up giving up his back. And I can very easily see, despite the hand fighting that he's going to use, I see Jiri locking in a rear naked choke. I say middle third round, Jiri Prochazka becomes a two-time champ against Carlos Ulberg. And again, I think Carlos does deserve a title fight, but not now. Why no Magomed Ankalaev in this fight? That's the person that Jiri should be fighting for the strap. Now, do we know if there's an injury issue or if there's a personal issue that Ankalaev just is unavailable? In which case I understand going to Ulberg right now. I do. But again, I have such a problem with it right now that, you know, I understand why Arman Tsarukyan is getting looked over for a title. I don't understand for Ankalaev. It should be Ankalaev's time right now. You know, you have two former champs go at it. When a title is vacant or an interim, it should be the top two fighters going for that strap. Not like a 1-3 or 1-4 or 2-5. It should be the top two ranked fighters fighting for that strap. And again, I think Ulberg does deserve a title shot, just not now. And I'm worried about his self-confidence. And if he is even hesitant because of that self-confidence against Jiri Prochazka, it won't even last to round 3. Jiri could finish him in round 1. But anyways, the fight prediction is Jiri Prochazka making Carlos Ulberg tap out to a rear naked choke in round 3. Now guys, if you like these prediction videos, as a matter of fact, if you like any of my videos, please hit the subscribe button. Down below in the comment section, you tell me what you think about this fight. Tell me if you think if Ulberg deserves a title shot right now. Give me your thoughts about Magomed Ankalaev. And after hitting that subscribe button, remember, like the video, share it, And until the next video, Cyclone saying, peace out, home skis.